What are the qualities that make someone a good manifester? Well, those who have figured out how to make their inner world of imagination, the spiritual dimension, more real to them than the outer world of their five senses. And those who can go within and create with their imagination what they desire and feel like they've already gotten it are the ones that manifest. You know, you can try it and you can prove it, and you can start with little things and then you build up, and pretty soon you get the confidence that you can be in the driver's seat. And if you need something to show up in your life, you'll know how to go there and feel like you've already gotten it, and it will manifest. This is true abundance. You know, it doesn't matter how much money you have in your bank account, as long as you know that you will always have what you need when you need it. It will show up, sometimes in a very magical way, as long as you focus on the end result of what you desire without worrying about how you're going to get there. One time I needed a particular job to manifest for me. I didn't focus on how I would get it or whether I would get it. I just focused on feeling like I'd already gotten it. And it was presented to me, just like, and it was even better than I expected. And that's what can happen. You know, even when I wanted to be a stewardess, when I first applied, I applied to an airline, Trans World Airways, TWA, which was international, which was kind of exciting to me. And I went through 3 interviews, 2 in Boston, and then they flew me to New York to be interviewed for my 3rd one. I got a rejection letter. I was devastated. It was the only airline I'd applied to. Back in the 60s, there really weren't any great careers for women other than doing something like that. And I was very drawn to it. I've told you why. I saw these UFOs and I wanted to find out where they were coming from. And I love travel and adventure. So it was the perfect fit. But I was rejected by that one airline initially. And my father suggested that I write them a letter to find out why they rejected me, which was a good idea because I did. And they got back to me and they said, no particular reason. Why don't you reapply in the future? Which gave me the confidence to keep going. So I applied to a lot of other airlines and got accepted by Eastern and United, and rejected by American and TWA. And I chose United. And I'm glad I did, because Eastern and TWA both went out of business. I wouldn't have had a long career with them at all. They're gone. They went years ago. And so sometimes your higher self will guide you to the right place. If you trust that you have this guidance, that your higher self that's always with you, that's your real self, knows exactly what you need to do next. And so when you go within and you feel like you're either meant to do it or it's already happened, there's no doubt in your mind, you don't look back, you don't look away from the goal, you don't get into that area where you're doubting and fearing that it won't happen. Forget about that. Just focus on the end result. And you will have it turn up in your life. And if it doesn't turn up for some reason, there's something better coming along. You're being redirected sometimes. But when you learn to listen to your inner guidance, and it can show up like a voice. I've told you, I've heard this male voice over to my left. One time it told me I was leaving New York by the end of March. I had no plans to leave, and I did leave New York by the end of March. Another time it told me to love that man with all your heart that I was harboring negative feelings for, and I was experiencing an acute appendicitis attack. As soon as I heard that voice tell me that, I released him as far as any kind of resentment I was feeling, and I felt an immediate adjustment. I was healed. So, you know, emotions play a big part in our experiences because that's how we create these vibrations that we're sending out into the universe. That's why the emotion of divine love, unconditional love, holds the power. Whatever holds thought in line with unselfed love receives directly the divine power. So if you can hold a vision of what you desire and feel nothing but love surrounding it, it's going to help you and other people. It's going to be of benefit to mankind in whatever small or big way you can imagine. As long as it's not just all about you. You know, there are other-centered people and self-centered people. And if you're other-centered, you will be taken care of by God, the universe, whatever you want to call it, because there are invisible forces. And if you're trying to do something positive, you're aligning yourself with very positive forces. That's how it works.